Monza for us has always been quite tricky, even in our dominant years. But I think the whole weekend, we were more or less there. Always I would say 2 tenths off, maybe 3 tenths off, but we kept improving. I think every session we made steps forward, and we had a good base, so that's important. And again, in qualifying, tiny things that we changed, but it did give me the confidence to attack a little bit more, could use the rotation of the car a bit more, and that allowed me then, of course, in Q3 especially, really attack it a bit more. And I'm happy. It's never easy to nail a lap around Monza with the low downforce, and it's easy to lock up on the braking because the car is always moving around quite a bit. But both of my laps were nice. I'm happy with that.
I'm happy. Still small gaps. 700s is not a lot to miss out on pole, but I don't think I ever gave myself the chance or possibilities to be on pole today. Too many mistakes in Q2, which just put me on the back foot in terms of confidence and laps and all these things. And Q3 run 1, I had to go out the pit lane first. I knew I was screwed before I even went out the pit lane. So I everything was just relying on that last lap in quali. So I was very happy actually to pull it out and put a P2. So a nice surprise for me.
Qualifying I felt went pretty well. The last lap was good without being exceptional. I think the competition's been very close this weekend, so trying to find that last little bit obviously carried a fair bit of risk. So ultimately, I'm pretty happy with how it went. I felt like I built up reasonably well through qualifying, just not quite perfect at the end.
It was always going to be very difficult to fight with the top 3. We knew that the Red Bull and the McLaren had something more than us for this weekend, and unfortunately that proved to be the case this weekend. So not much we can do more, especially on a qualifying like this. I think the lap was great, and I couldn't do much more.
I think it's generally been a better weekend. I think it was definitely a solid qualifying. Felt like I got pretty much most that I wanted out of it. I think at the end, the last lap just never is as good as you would hope it'd be. And that's something I've got to work on for sure with the balance that I have with the car. But otherwise, it's okay.
Well, it was looking pretty good at one point. Obviously quickest in Q1. I was pretty happy on those mediums. Q2 wasn't too bad either, but we just got slower as the session progressed, so that was a real shame. We definitely underperformed in Q3.
Any kind of understanding of why that was the case?
Not really, to be honest, not as yet. I'm sure we'll have some answers. Obviously a bit of miscommunication with the tyre choice. P5 starting tomorrow, it's not amazing, but hopefully we can fight from there.
Much better qualifying. It was very tight. Was not easy out there, but I think overall was a decent job. And last lap was not great. There was more on the table, especially I struggled with the rear quite a bit because also we tried something little bit different with the tire temperature. And I struggled a little bit first part of the lap, but I think on my side I could have done a little bit better as well, but still P6 for tomorrow, so we cannot complain too much.
Feeling happy, Q3 again, good performance, good car. Just a shame, Q3 last lap was not ideal. I didn't even improve, so feels like I left a little bit in the table in Q3, but it's not a bad position to start for tomorrow's race.
I'm very happy. I think, as you said, we've been struggling the whole weekend, and we committed even to 3 sets in Q1 because we thought it could be the last session of our day, and eventually we found ourselves in Q3. So I think we found a good tire preparation. We found the sweet spot on the tire grip on the first lap, and that was probably the key of our qualifying. So thanks to the team for keep chasing performance, even after FP3.
In Q3, I didn't able to have slipstream. Traditionally this kind of track, you want to have a bit of circulation and slipstream, which I had to lead a pack in Q3, which is kind of opposite to what I want. But in the end, overall happy with the performance, and being this Q3 was the things I wanted for a long time, and overall happy with it?
Feeling pretty good, I was happy with my lap. Of course, there is always that little extra time in it to get through into Q3 when you look back at it, but I was giving it everything out there and pretty happy with the lap I was able to put down. It's even more annoying to miss it by this much than to miss it by a bigger margin, so that's a shame, but it shows the good work we've been doing over the free practice sessions, because I was not expecting to be fighting for Q3 today.
Not good enough from my side. The first run in Q2 I completely messed it up and didn't have a lap time on the board, or a very slow one that doesn't get you anything. So yeah, that was not great, unfortunately, and then leaves you with one bullet left, and that was a good lap, but I needed to leave a little bit of margin here and there just to make sure I get a competitive time, and couldn't take all the risk that I perhaps wanted if you have a good first lap. So bit disappointed and frustrated with that myself. But other than that, the car is quick and we look competitive.
I think I was in this TV pen yesterday warning that today was going to be a lot more difficult, and to don't believe too much our pace from yesterday, because I know how difficult our car is when it comes to qualifying in one single lap on tires. Is really, really difficult to get everything to work, and yesterday we had multiple laps on soft to get them to work, and we were finally doing some good laps. But today, once you get a single chance, our tires are a bit of a lottery right now, and we struggle with this car like we have done all season, and unfortunately we didn't get it to work.
It's not that we're not trying. We've tried absolutely everything this weekend, and even in qualifying between cars we were trying different things, and yet we finished on the same lap time. But we know it's not working, and we know it's not working because when we go in free practice and we can do multiple laps, we can get the tyre to work in it, and we can be quick. And then we come into qualifying when obviously it's quite restricted what you can do on out laps and whatnot, and we just can't get it firing, and frustrating.
Disappointing session, really. Overall, I think Q1 we should not have been in that position, so it was a bit, a bit tricky, to be there. I think we didn't have the right track position exactly, and then in Q2 we didn't really maximize the whole lap together. I think the car just felt worse in Q2 than it was in Q1. It struggled with front under rotation, with front locking, quite a lot of understeer at higher speed. Overall it was more like a balance I felt earlier this year, so we need to investigate exactly what went wrong, and hopefully tomorrow that won't be the case.
Carlos was being a bit of a pain on my out lap, really. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was on used tires, and he opened his lap in front of me to then let me by, but like in a weird way. So honestly, tire warm-up was just wrong, and I obviously hate going into qualifying that, knowing that I'm starting last tomorrow anyway. So this is not a good feeling, and this is what cost us the elimination.
How are you feeling about your chance of recovering? Because the car's been quick around here this weekend.
It's super fast, to be honest. I was really happy with the car in Q1, first lap, and free practice 3 was strong. So we're starting last tomorrow, so it's going to be a very, very long race.
Very tight, did what we could,
How much more do you think there was in it? Did you get the clean lap that you wanted? How was that?
I thought the laps were pretty clean. Maybe a better toe would have helped a bit, but we did what we could.
It is frustrating. We did our best, and I think the laps were good, but we just missed that thing that in a very power-sensitive track, it's always more tricky for us. Need to keep working. Need to keep working for tomorrow. We knew it was going to be a difficult track for us, and tomorrow can be a better race.
We knew it was going to be tough to make it to Q2. I think we tried our best, made some good improvement throughout the whole weekend. Not very happy with the last attempt. Not very happy. I just a bit unfortunate with the traffic and got a car in turn 7, another car 8, 9, 10. So wasn't the sweetest lap, but I think even looking at the gap would have not been enough to make it to Q2. So I think it's just where we are. We knew it was going to be tough, and got to keep fighting.
I went off. I had a car in front that wasn't directly in front of me, but it just picked up a bit of understeer in the middle of the corner and went off. So it's a shame. I think the car's been very fast this week, and we've had a lot of issues trying to get on top of them, and I think we sorted it for quali. So it's a shame to get knocked out for something that silly.